All right, today we're jumping into a really fascinating text called The Road to Freedom by Xu Feng. It kicks off with a pretty simple idea that we're all chasing freedom, but it ends up with a conclusion that is so radical it could flip everything you think you know about how to live your life.
So let's just cut right to the chase. The author wants you to ask yourself something, and it sounds simple, but it's really not. Just think about it for a second. Are you, right now, in this moment, truly free?
Now, the author, he doesn't really beat around the bush here. He opens with this. Just wow, what a claim. He says that in our entire human history, not one single person has ever actually been free, not in mind and not in body. I mean, think about that. It's a huge, absolute statement, and it's designed to make you stop and really question things.
And he argues that this chase for freedom isn't just for philosophers. It's for everyone. It's the hidden reason behind everything we do. You know, why do you want to race? Why do you want to travel or learn a new skill? According to this text, it all boils down to one thing. You're trying to buy yourself a little more freedom.
And this isn't just a problem for, the average person. The author says nobody is free. Not presidents, not billionaires, not the most devout spiritual leaders. He says they're all just in a different kind of jail cell. Everyone, he claims, is trapped.
Okay, so if we're all in this so-called prison, what are the bars made of? The author says it's not some big secret. In fact, he lays out 8 specific things, and these are things we see as totally normal parts of life that he says are the actual chains holding us all down.
Yep, 8. A nice clean number. He says there are exactly 8 factors keeping us from being free. And these aren't abstract ideas. They're things you deal with every single day. And honestly, when you see the list, it's a bit of a shock.
So here's the list. He points to the state and the government, which he says are 2 different things. Then you've got money, marriage, family, kinship, your extended relatives, debt, of course. And the last one is a big one, the ego. That little voice inside that just has to be right all the time. His whole point is, as long as these 8 things are in charge, you'll never be free, period.
And this is where it gets really provocative. I mean, look at this. We're taught that marriage is this beautiful, supportive bond. The author, he says, nope, it's the end of your freedom. The moment you say I do, your personal freedom is basically over.
And if you thought his take on marriage was intense, check out his view on family. For most of us, family is our rock, our support system. He sees it as a lifelong cage, a trap made of obligations and emotional debts that you can never truly escape.
So I'm guessing right about now you're thinking, okay, this sounds completely insane, right? A world without money or families, it just sounds like total chaos. And the author knows that's what you're thinking. So let's see how he handles that.
I mean, it's the obvious question. How would anything work? No government to keep order, no money to buy food, no family to go home to? The author's response is basically, those aren't logical problems. That's just your imagination failing you.
And this is his whole argument right here. He's saying it's not that it's impossible, it's that you can't imagine it. We're so stuck in our way of thinking that we can't see any other possibility. He thinks the problem is in our heads, not in the world.
Okay, and this is where the story takes a pretty wild turn. To prove his point, the author claims he's actually visited other dimensions. And there, he says he saw a society that was thriving without any of these obstacles. No money, no government, no marriage. And that's what he used as his blueprint.
So this isn't just some philosophical book. The author took this vision he claims he saw and actually tried to build it here on Earth. He basically tried to recreate that other world. So let's talk about his real-world experiment.
The project is called The Second Homeland. And the goal was simple: create a community, a new way of life that was totally free of those 8 obstacles we talked about. A place designed from the ground up for true freedom.
And again, according to the text, this isn't some idea that fizzled out. It was founded way back in 2009, and it ran for over a dozen years straight. Because of that, the author believes he's cracked the code. He thinks the model is proven and it's ready to go global.
Think about that. More than 13 years. That's a long time to run a social experiment. And in his view, that's all the proof you need that, yeah, you can have a functioning society without all the things we think are essential.
And how did it go for the people living there? Well, the author reports a pretty staggering number: 95% satisfaction. 95% of the members were happy. For him, that's the ultimate proof that this model doesn't just work, it makes people's lives better.
So, okay, he's laid out the problem. pointed to the 8 causes, and then run this huge long-term experiment. So what's the big takeaway? What's his final, grand conclusion after all of that? He's not shy about it at all. He basically says, my model, the second homeland, isn't just a path to freedom. It is the path, the only path. He's claiming this is the one and only way for humanity to finally get what it's been chasing forever: total freedom of mind and body.
And that brings everything full circle, right back to you. The text lays out this vision of absolute freedom, but there's a catch, and it's a big one. To get it, you have to give up almost everything you know: your family, your marriage, money, the government. So the real question the author leaves us with is, for that kind of freedom, what are you willing to let go of?